What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna finally get around to making a new front bumper for the lifted Civic here. I still got the old one. It's sitting over here against the wall, but it's gotten ripped off the car twice now. So I figure it's time to just start over with it. Went ahead and got the factory crash bar out, and I'm gonna use it so that way we can use our factory mounting spots instead of just the one on the side here, which got ripped out on both sides there. So I'm just gonna use this and make a little stinger off of it here, and then some sort of a radiator guard coming off the bottom. So first thing, I just gotta try and straighten that back out. Then I'll throw this on there and we'll grind off some of the paint and start cutting this thing up and see if we can't figure something out. Still don't have a tube bend or anything, so these bends right here is pretty much all I got. But it's pretty cold today, so I'm gonna turn this super loud heater on for most of the day. Probably gonna end up being a lot of time lapses, but let's get to it. So I might have had that time lapse running a little bit too fast, but in case it was, if you couldn't really tell what was happening, cut that bend out and then got it at an angle, because where it was, these were out here like this, and it made it really wide. So I cut that at an angle to bring these in, and now it's roughly the width of the light bar here. So we got all these cut down. I'm gonna go through now and grind all the paint off here, and go ahead and grind paint off here, and then I'm gonna tack this part together and figure out about where it's gonna sit here, and then I'm gonna have to cut the ends off at an angle so it'll sit flat on this, and then weld all that together, and then I'm going to make some kind of a radiator guard down here. So go ahead and cut back to a time lapse and get all this paint ground off here and get that welded together. Alright, got the stinger part all done. Well, welded together. I still gotta paint it. But got it all mounted on the bumper here. All welded up. So before I painted all that stuff, I'm gonna make a little bit of a radiator guard right here. I originally was gonna use these, but I had this. So I think I'm just gonna cut this down and weld it to the bottom of this right there, going down at an angle. So I'll measure out that right there and get a strip of this cut out, and then I'll pull this bumper off here and weld this piece to it. So go ahead and cut to another time lapse. Sorry about that. I forgot the time lapse was running. That was probably a really long time lapse. But this is where I'm at. Got this thing off here and got these. These are actually off a wheelbarrow. But I'm gonna weld them in right here, and that'll give this some support. And then just a little bit of paint, and I think this thing will be about done. So I'll cut those down and weld them in real quick. So I forgot about the pod lights from the old bumper, so I'll weld them on there and then we'll paint this thing. Alright, got this thing all ready for paint, got it outside. Got my light tabs welded on there. So throw some paint on it, switch to a time lapse, and then once it dries we'll put it on for the last time. Put it on the car and see how it turned out. There it is. It's still a little wet. Just trying to touch it as little as possible, but got it sitting on there. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and mount the pod lights right here and tighten the bolts up. I'm just going to put a washer right here since that's all broken. tighten the bolts up and then this thing will be all done. All right, got this thing fully installed. Just use some washers right here and tighten it down really tight, and then the factory bolts in there, but it's a lot higher off the ground than our old one. It comes down about the same as the core support, maybe a little higher, and then it's got our guard there for our radiator and all this stuff, so hopefully nothing will get in there and destroy our radiator. And got the pod lights mounted up. I haven't wired them in yet, but I've got to wire in this light bar also all at the same time. But there it is, finished bumper. I'm okay with how it came out. Hopefully this one will last longer than the other one. But I guess that's going to be all for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another one. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.